So, you know, when you think Iowa, Wisconsin, just what kind of comes to your mind about this rivalry?
Physical. No BS, just physical play. I mean, those guys are. I remember last year, just going into it thinking, just another game, and then after those first couple snaps, I was like, oh boy, like we're in here. Like they are some tough dudes, nothing fancy. I mean, it's just a physical game.
I don't know how much you've watched of them this year, but usually people say, you know, they kind of mirror each other, especially offensively. They're going to line up. Not going to be many secrets about what they do. It's just a matter of you can stop it. Do you feel that in the trenches, you know, when you play those guys?
Absolutely. I think their philosophy is, just line up one-on-one, and they're going to beat you individually, cross, and it's just really it comes down to winning your matchup. And I think that shows in their film. I mean, I remember that from last year, the way they played. And we just got to show up and beat them. Everyone's got to do their job.
There's just another new offensive line combination. I don't know, from your standpoint. I mean, I'm sure you'd like to have the same every game, but I mean, is it a big of a deal as maybe we make it out to be?
No, I don't think it's as big a deal as people make it out to be, especially here, just how close that group is. I mean, that O-line group, that room is just super, super close. And, I mean, I'd say we're the closest O-line in the nation, but that helps with just kind of the transitions. I mean, one or two snaps and warm-ups and you're good to go.
Did you feel like the Maryland game, though, was a stepping stone to just getting some continuity, or do you feel like there were still things to clean up, or is it tough to tell because there was one game with that unit?
Well, I mean, there's always things to clean up from every game, but I think we're trending in the right direction. I think we're on a run here, and I think we're really hitting in stride, and it's just going to go up from here.
The Iowa defense, a lot of people consider that group to be the best unit in the country. How big is this going to be, making sure you control what you can control in terms of penalties, turnovers, not putting yourself in a hole and then letting them really feast on you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Those guys are, I mean, I'm just up front at least, they're from some physical, disciplined football players, and you don't want to have to play them and yourselves at the same time. So just trying to play a clean game and winning your one-on-one matchups and just trying to get it done there.
I'm sure the penalties are maybe still a little higher from what you guys want as an offensive standpoint, but it does feel like they've steadily been coming down. What would you kind of attribute that to over the last couple of weeks here?
Well, I mean, after the game, you just watch it clean up, and early in the season, even still, I mean, there's just too many penalties, and so going in that game, you really just got to think like, can't have it. You just can't have it. I mean, that's hurting the offense, it's hurting the team, it's hurting our chances to win. So you just can't have it.
I know it's maybe easy to say just don't commit penalties, but which is probably a big part of it, especially mentally with false start stuff. But I mean, was there anything different in practice in terms of how you tried to clean it up, or is it just a matter of somebody yelling at you guys enough to the point where it's not going to happen again?
It's just got to stop at some point. You gotta. This just can't happen. I mean, really. So, I mean, some stuff like holding penalties, especially, like that stuff's hard because you want to play physical and you want to, finish. But stuff like false starts and stuff like that, there's just no excuse. It just can't happen.
So with Trey moving inside, obviously it's rare to see a guy that big, and he's played center too. I'm curious what you guys see out of him as somebody who can play on the interior at that size.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's huge. He's ginormous. So that's a great characteristic to have as an O-lineman, especially inside there, just covering people up. I mean, he just absorbs people sometimes with how big he is. But with that said, he's also pretty quick with his feet. So, I mean, I think that we'll see how it goes, but he can play. I mean, he can play tackle as we've seen, and I think he can play guard. So just wherever Coach Bo sees fit.
Since Coach Christa was let go, how have you guys gotten to this point to go 3-1, be an overtime loss away from being undefeated against Coach Leonard when it seemed like you guys were kind of devastated by that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of grieved in their own way and kind of went through their own process with that, but. I mean, at least personally, I trusted in the program, people, the higher ups, and the alumni, everyone like that. I trusted that they would make the right choices and help put us in the best position to win games. And so that's what it's been. Just kind of taking the coaching, listening, and just trying to help this program out as much as I can.
Another part of that though is kind of like tuning out the business side of college football, and I'm sure especially offensive linemen kind of wondering, okay, am I going to have Coach Bostad next year? As 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids. I mean, how have you guys been able to maybe do that and just get back to playing football? Because it looks like you guys are starting to have fun again, whereas you weren't early in the season.
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of bear responsibility for that. I mean, the O-line plays well, then it's then nothing's gonna, you hope that we'd stay on the same track. But I mean, it's like I said, I kind of trust in the program and the higher ups to make that decision. But I think that it's trending in the right direction. And I think I have the utmost respect and confidence in Coach Bo, and I think we're trending in the right direction. It's just more to come.
Kind of touched on it, but is that an edge thing? It gives you guys knowing that, hey, if we play well enough, we can keep these coaches here. I mean, I think everybody wants, Coach Leonard.
Yeah,
that's a fair statement to say. Everybody or most locker room wants Coach Leonard, but at the same time, is it giving you an edge knowing you're fighting? I mean, is something else to fight for out there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, kind of just that whole business when Coach Chris was let go, it made me kind of feel like the program's kind of, it's just a big kind of almost like break, and like feel like the wheels are falling off, and to really come back together here and show everyone that, like, hey, like it's all right, like we're a winning program, like we're the real deal. Just kind of keep on that track, and just, to be honest, I don't even really worry about it. I just kind of trust in what the coaches say, no matter who that coach is, because I believe in the program, and I think that they know what's best.
And then you guys, this program, since 2010 has won something like 83% of its games in November. Remarkable record in these trophy games too. What do you think just makes a good November football team? When the weather starts to turn and things start to get a little more ugly.
Well, I mean, like Coach Leonard was telling us, I mean, it's this championship football time. Like it's do or die. I mean, especially for us, because we kind of had a rocky start there for a little bit. But I mean, you just got to win games. Yeah. I think that's the way I look at it. Is it's season's coming to an end. How are you going to end it? So, it's just kind of the stakes feel higher almost. So.